Hi, my name is Sandy, and I welcome you to the Old Time Patterns YouTube channel. This video is the first in a series about making your own sewing patterns. This first video is going to be about taking your measurements, which of course is the first and most important step of making your own patterns. So let's get started. This video is the first in a series on making your own sewing patterns. It's going to be about taking your measurements, and I think everybody who wants to revise patterns, alter patterns, or make their own patterns should really do this. Take your measurements, write them down, then you'll have them forever. I got a measurement chart from a book that I bought. And I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of just this chart, and I'll put a link to it down below in the description section. So you can print it off for yourself. And this chart has 39 measurements on it. And I'm going to go ahead and take those measurements on myself so that you know that you can do it on yourself and you don't need somebody to help you. And let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need some kind of a string. I'm going to use twill tape. Sometimes you're going to want to, put the string around something so you have a straight line. Wrap it around your waist so you know where your waistline is when you're measuring up and down and stuff like that. So any kind of string. I have twill tape, whatever works for you, whatever you have on hand. I just happen to have this right here with me. Okay, so the first measurement is the neck measurement. And there's a bone in your neck that sticks out more than the rest of them do. It's about even with your shoulders, right where your back stops and your neck starts. So you want the tape measure to go out and around that bone. This isn't going to be right up close to your neck. It needs to go out around that bone. And then in the front, the tape measure needs to touch both of your collarbones, coming down around the sides. So again, this is not a choker measurement. This would be the location of a standard neckline. Okay, it's not going to be right up close to your neck. It's going to have just a little bit of leeway in it. So that's the measurement that you want. And I came up with about 18.5 on mine. The next measurement is the neck width, and this is the first one that would be helpful if you had some string or twill tape. You're going to drop the string down both sides of your neck so that it forms a straight line. Might be helpful to look in a mirror to make sure that you have a straight line. And you're going to measure in between those areas. So mine's about 4.5 inches. The third one is the shoulder width. And this is the back of your shoulders. From point of shoulder to point of shoulder. Right where the shoulder bones stick out. Right here. So, and I slouch. I have very bad posture. I slouch. So, you want to make sure that you're slouching when you take this measurement. If you try and hold your shoulders back and take this measurement, it's going to throw it way off. I mean, you can see the way the tape measure kind of pulls tight and then falls a little bit. So, you want to make sure you have an accurate measurement. Go from shoulder point to shoulder point. Slouch if you're going to slouch. And I came up with 18.5 again. Okay, the next measurement, number 4, is a chest measurement for men only. And this chart does have only 2 measurements that are for men only, and this is one of them. So for men only, it would be just like a bust measurement on a lady. You want to measure around the chest, the biggest part of the chest, and make sure it's even all the way around so it goes over the shoulder blades. So do that for men only. The number 5 measurement is upper chest for ladies, and this is going to be up as high as you can go, right up under your armpits, above the bust. It's important to know the difference in your curves. So you're going to do upper chest, a chest measurement, and then a rib cage measurement is what they call it, so that you know the difference between your curves. I came up with 42 on this one. The number 6 is full bust. So again, around the biggest part of your chest. It should still be going over your shoulder blades. Try and make sure you have a straight line all the way around. I came up with 43. The number 7 measurement is front bust, and then number 8 is back bust. These would be necessary, very helpful, maybe not necessary, but very helpful, like Truly Victorian. Heather, who makes the Truly Victorian patterns that I sell on the website, she explains this in all of her patterns, but one way to get an accurate fit on the patterns, and therefore the clothes that you make from the patterns, you can choose like a size 14 for the front piece and a size 10 for the back piece, and put them together, and you'll have a very customized fit. And you would determine that based on these measurements that we're going to do. So you want to go from side seam to side seam, and make sure that your seam, if you look in the mirror, make sure that your seam is going straight and not at an angle. You need to make sure that you have a straight seam. So you're going to go across the front, side seam to side seam. See, I'm starting at one side seam and going to the other side seam. And then across the back, same thing, side seam to side seam. And if you did these measurements correctly, they're going to add up to the measurement that you got on the full bust in number 6, and mine did. It added up just fine. The next one, the number 9 measurement, is bust to bust. The importance of this is for your darts on the side. So you know how far in your darts have to go. So just going to measure nipple to nipple. I got 8.5. And then the rib cage, which would be the under bust, right under the bust. I got 37. And then the waist. Waist is the number 11 measurement. My waist is a little higher than a lot of people. I'm short-bodied. Got 38 for the waist. And then the number 12 measurement is the bicep. You want to make sure this is on the fattest part of your arm. 14. And then the wrist measurement. 6.5. And then the palm measurement. And this one's going to be good if you ever have to make a set of gloves. Got 7.5 on that one. Okay, number 15 is hips. So make sure this is the biggest part of your hips. I don't know if you can see the tape measure or not, where I got it. I got 47. Thigh. I'm going to put my leg up here on the table so we can do this one. And this is going to be, well, maybe not on the tip. Well, I have to pull my skirt up. I should have been wearing a pair of pants. Okay, I can do this. Make sure it's the biggest part of your thigh, which is probably pretty darn close to the crotch area. Just slightly lower than the crotch area. About 26. And leg width. Number 17 is leg width, which is easiest to do with a ruler, because the tape measure is going to curve and you don't want it to do that. So leg width, try and line it up on the back of your leg, and then line it up on the front of your leg. And I got 8. It says in the book here, for women this is generally between 6 and 8, and for men it is between 7 and 9. So I got an 8. And then the knee measurement. And this is going to be right around your kneecap, right over your kneecap. That's 17. And then we're going to start taking measurements up and down. So center front to waist is going to be the first one. So we need to tie something around your waist. Just makes it a lot easier. Make sure you're accurate. So this is going to start right in between your collarbones, right where that little dip is, and then go down to your waist measurement. Again, I'm kind of short-waisted. Whoops. You gotta stand straight up. So I got about 13. And then center front to rib cage. So we're going to move this up a little bit. Measure again, center front to rib cage. Nine and a half. 22 is center front to knee. So again, start in the dip. Take the tape measure. Just kind of lay your hand over it as low as you can. Stand as straight as you normally would. Stretch your hand as far down as you can to hold it. And then you can take the rest of the measurement after you bend over. So I got 37 on mine. And then center front to floor. So I'm going to stand on the tape measure down at the floor. Okay. I think I got it right. And that is 56. And 24 is side front to bust. So side front is right on the shoulder seam of your shirt, and hopefully you don't have a really wide neckline on your shirt, because you want to be fairly close to the neck. And then down to the bust, right to the nipple. So that'd be about 12. "25 is side front to waist. Again, push this back down around my waist. Side front to waist. Got about 19. "26 is bust to shoulder. Okay, so this is the tip of the shoulder, right where the bone sticks out, the end of your shoulder, down to the nipple. Again, this is one, if you're going to slouch, you need to slouch for this one. It makes a difference between 11 inches and 12 inches, so it is quite a difference. So, got 11 on that one. And 27 is for men only. Center front waist to shoulder. Okay, so the end of the shoulder, down to the center of the waist, right above your belly button. I got slouch. I got 17 on that, but this is for men only. 27 is for men only. And then 28 is center back. Center back to waist. So we're going to start at that bone that sticks out in the middle of your neck, down to the waist. I got 15. Okay, so 29 is side back to waist. So right on the seam of your shoulder, right next to your neck, down to the waist. Got 17. 30 is center back waist to shoulder. Center back waist to shoulder. Okay, so start at the shoulder. And center back. Slouch if you're going to slouch. And I got 17 and a half. Okay, number 31 is armpit to waist. So just probably about where your current armpit on your top is. Probably would work just fine. And I got 8 inches on that one. And then arm length from the shoulder point to the bottom of the large wrist bone. And it has to go around your elbow. And your arm has to be bent. So it might take a little bit to get it around your elbow there, but oops, I had it and then I lost it. Okay, there we go. So I got 26. Yeah, I got 26. And then shoulder to elbow. Point of shoulder to point of elbow. And there we go. It got stuck. I got 15 for that one. And sleeve cap. So we want to take your string or your show tape and wrap it around your bicep. as far up as you can go. And then you're going to measure down to your sleeve cap from your shoulder. Point of shoulder down to the tape. It's 5.5 inches. And then waist to hips. So I'm going to tie this around my waist again. Down the side of the body. Okay, so waist to hips. Try and figure out where you're the pudgiest at, and that's where you need to take the measurement to. So about 10 inches. 36 is waist to knee, also at the side. And again, just put your hand down as far as you can to hold the tape measure. And then you can bend over to go the rest of the way down to the knee. I got 25. And then waist to floor. And again, I'm going to just step on this on the floor level. And then pull it up to my waist, and I got 44. And then inseam, taking down the inseam inside of the leg from the crotch to the floor. Again, I'm stepping on the tape measure. And then pull it up to my crotch. So I got 31. And the last one is crotch depth, and you have to sit in a chair for this one. Okay, so sitting in the chair. And you're going to measure from the waist to the chair, from your waist to the chair down the side. Put it at the waist and measure down to the chair. So I came up with 13. And that is it. So that didn't take all that long. But now hopefully you got your measurements all written down, and you'll have them forever and ever, and you'll have plenty of chances to reference those measurements in upcoming videos and in projects of your own. So thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and I would love to hear your comments, questions, and suggestions down below. Please also consider subscribing to my channel, and if you click on the bell next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified when new videos come out. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy sewing!